Howdy, howdy, welcome, one and all, as we are back from our mid-season break, so to speak. Better than ever, rested from the holidays. I hope everyone had a very happy holidays, had a happy Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa or Yule or whatever you celebrate. Any of those, and a very happy new year. We've come back into 2021, the first Iron City by Night of 2021. So very excited. I don't want to sit and wait any much longer, so I'm going to keep this very short and sweet. I have a few announcements. You can check out the YouTube for all the archived episodes that you missed of previous episodes of this show and many others that are on this Twitch channel. You can go ahead and follow and perhaps subscribe if you feel the need. You don't have to if you just want to sit back and sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You can also check out our YouTube. I already said the YouTube. It's fine. We have a Discord server. You can find us on Twitter. All this good stuff. All those links are below. You can hit all of them below. If you like the show and you want to support it a little bit more, support it directly. We always look forward to those proceeds, as well as buying merch for the show. You can buy t-shirts, blankets, shower curtains, magnets, skateboards, hoodies. The store has skateboards that you can buy with designs that I have created and designed specifically for this show, for other shows, for the stream, and for other various things like wrestling or sex positivity stuff, tabletop stuff, all that good stuff. So we did hit 250 followers, so I want to say thank you to all 254 of you. Thank you so much. It's very meaningful. It means a ton to me. We're almost at a year of Carrion Comfort Studios. And we started with, I had 2 people watching, 3 or 4 people watching, and I was lighting by candlelight. And now I've got beautiful people telling stories with me on here and asking me to check my posture and everything on the internet and deciding when I drink water. So it's been great. It's been a great almost year. So thank you, everybody. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to our wonderful technical staff to get this credits rolling so we can get started on our recap and everything. So sit back, relax, and enjoy while we tell you a vampire story. Welcome back. Now, before we get started with Session 5, Better Hell, Iron City by Night, let me give a quick recap. Our coterie all gathered outside of Madelyn's haven, going into the fresh night, ready to split up, part the ways, and divide and conquer, finding information. Madelyn was going to meet with the Nosferatu Primogen, Hannah Clifton. Aaron was going to go back to Liner, check the security tapes, see if he could gather any more insight into the various going-ons and the different people, the persons of interest that were involved with the fateful torporing of Laszlo Khan. Altair, in books, had some other intentions. Altair went to the haven, the home of his sire, Astor, and found there to be quite a mess of different bodies and various other messes and broken things, including Astor himself, quite broken, seemingly not remembering the conversation they had the night before, who had been crying his eyes out. After a promising and very cleansing bath and dinner time, we can carry on to Books, who had gone back home to his apartment where we were introduced to Watson, his familus, his animal companion, his guardian, his homie. Soft meow in the chats. I've got to make a soft meow emote now. And we got a little bit of insight into his living situation. To when he was visited by a coyote guest. Being curious, he went and followed the coyote to Ramsey High School, the football field, where he met his sire, letting him know that there was intent for him to be left alone, that she had intentions for him to decide his own path, knowing the state that he was in, that there would be an interest, especially for what clan he was involved in. With conversations about who she was and what she might mean to him, she told him her name, Mia, and made him an offer of training, of learning a little bit more about his situation and learning how to survive in the night, bonded to this blood. But he could not tell anyone about her, for risk of death for not only her, but him as well. He agreed. Madelyn, linking up with Hannah Clifton, traded back a little bit of info, learned a little bit more insight about the going-ons that are happening in the city, and with a promise of finding Astor's Haven and a little bit more info on Astor, Hannah would provide some info for her to help them out with this whole Tombstone case. As a little show of goodwill, she showed Madelyn a surveillance video of a woman dressed like the lead singer of Susie and the Banshees. Leather jacket, wild hair, sunglasses at night, seemingly feasting on someone and leaving them in a car in a gas station outside New Orleans. Seems to be that there are people, ghosts, something from Madelyn's past slowly making their way across the United States. Aaron learned a little bit more info and connection on the purple-haired woman, the skinny gaunt man in the hoodie, and Malcolm, Books' friend from Mellow Mushroom, and how they're seemingly all connected. He also had a conversation with the Tremere Primogen and the Seneschal, Gregory Reuters, about their whole little predicament and to keep an eye on Books because he's going to be quite special and he needs somebody to provide a guiding hand for him. Gathering all of that, he made his way and linked up with Madelyn. They shared what they knew with Hannah, and after a tense but fruitful conversation, they all left. At the same time, the Coterie all were made aware of a breaking news bulletin that there was a fire up on WBRC, a sign that is associated with the news channel and radio station of Birmingham, one of the many in Birmingham. It's a red neon sign, and there were bodies that were burning that were seemingly in the shape of what Aaron noticed, the same runes on the stake that he had in his possession, as well as Ventru Whip, an assistant to Carson Collier, or Collier, however you pronounce it. It's a regional thing. Ian Morris, tied up, I should say, between the B and the R of the WBRC sign, seemingly flayed with a stake in his chest. The news team feed had cut, and they were going to an aerial shot of the helicopter. And that's what brings us into our current predicament now. You all got that notice. You all saw that on your phones. Seemingly, we're going to hope so. In a perfect world, you all did. Almost rapid fire at the same time, you get a notice that there was a fire, a gas line explosion at Regiment's Harbor Plaza at Sunburst Computers. And there's a news camera footage from the ground of that where you see Regiment's Harbor. It's a big, tall bank building, one of the tallest buildings in the city. and you see smoke pouring out of an 18th floor window. You see there are a lot of police officers and fire department officials, firemen on the ground already trying to handle the situation. There doesn't seem to be any more updates at this time. So, with that news, before we get a little bit any further, because you're all spread out, you're all in different places, knowing that news and knowing what you know, what are all your intents to do next?
So, Madelyn and Aaron are still hanging out, so pretty much gonna turn to Aaron with this news and go, what the fuck are we supposed to do about this?
Fuck.
Come on, Father Time. An idea, please?
Not our problem.
That I can get behind.
This is a job for the sheriff and the
Yeah.
prince.
Sounds about right.
But I have some concerns, and I'd like to check out the scene.
All right.
Fixing the problem, not our problem.
Being nosy about the problem sure as shit is our problem.
Yeah.
You gonna ride with me then?
That's a different car.
And?
Just, yeah, it's less conspicuous.
Yeah, come on. I will get in the car.
Right.
Now we'll get in the passenger seat.
You start driving. Books. Mia looks at you as she's like getting ready because she's asking if you're like if you can run in your shoes and getting ready to start like working together, and you're like checking your phone. She says, "Is everything okay?" And then she looks up because where Ramsey High School is right underneath the kind of mountain, that Red Mountain, where Vulcan is on, and WBRC, the sign is right beside. And you can see the smoke kind of and the orange glow against the letters. And the smoke is pillowing up into the air. And she goes, "Oh shit."
Is that significant, do you think? Or do you know?
I don't know. I mean, typically not fires going on out here. I don't know.
I think I will, maybe just as I'm talking, like share the sort of news article to our group text, and I'll just put like, "Is this a thing?" ?
When my phone goes off, should we have them meet us there or leave them out of it?
Honestly, at this point, both the kids could probably at least be a good pair of eyes on this. So, yeah, tell them.
All right. I will just text back to the group chat. We are heading that way. Meet us there if you can. It's worth keeping an eye on it.
Noted. Before we get your reply to the situation book, let's go over to Altair in Highland Park. Altair, after your dinner, Aster had asked you to let him become decent, let him make himself decent. So you kind of went out and like went back downstairs to wait for him. He comes back. You can hear him like as you're getting all this news and you're seeing your phone kind of pinging off. You hear Altair, where have you gone? And you see coming down the steps of the house, the steps kind of creaking. You see Aster, now looking seemingly refreshed, rejuvenated from the scene prior, with his hair tied up, and kind of long down, but he's got that ponytail, that Sean Bean, Eddard Stark kind of hair tied up, with a smoking jacket on, a nice, like a mustard yellow kind of velvety thing that has like a monogram initials that are not his own on them, and a nice pair of slacks and loafers, and he's like doing the walking fingers down the steps. He goes, Altair? Oh dear, is everything all right?
I think as he was coming down, he would have seen Altair like on his phone, like looking at the articles, getting those text messages, whatever. And I think he'll kind of jump a little because he doesn't even notice him coming downstairs, and he'll be like, "Oh, there's a fire."
A fire? Good heavens, where? And like he does like a hurried like prance down the rest of the steps and like hops off the last one and like walks over and kind of kneels down. He goes, where?
Yeah, and I think Altair just like opens up one of the articles on his phone and turns it to like show it to Aster.
WBRC, that dreadful sign. The body strewn up, left for dead, still breathing. Oh, good. Oh, goodness me. Do you think this is connected to that Tombstone fellow?
Probably. I think, I think I'm gonna go check it out with my friends.
Do you really have to go? Do you think that they can't handle it? And Aster kind of like puts like both hands on one of your hand, goes, you wouldn't want to stay and maybe read or do BuzzFeed quizzes? I know how much you love to do the BuzzFeed quizzes.
I would love to stay, Aster, really. But I should probably go help them.
Fine, I understand. Your new
I'm sorry,
friends are much more exciting than I am.
No. It's not like that. I just we need to get this done for the prince,
For Alex? Why, yes. Yes. He is the prince after all. Sure, I can spend time here. And he looks over at the dead bodies that are still over by the piano and goes, taking out the trash. And you can go with your new friends and solve the prince's pretty perfect problem.
I'm sorry. We'll hang out soon. I promise.
Pinky promise?
I think Altair just like stares at Aster for a moment until he's like already raising his hand, and then he's like, "Oh, okay." And he like does the thing.
And he kisses the end of it and goes, all right, go ahead. Go do your little detective thing. I've got something to take care of. And like his like mood just like gets dark, and then he starts like going over towards the kitchen to seemingly grab supplies to take the trash out. Do see yourself out, and don't leave out the front. Don't know who's watching.
Right.
Books. Mia's looking at you and she goes, is it something important?
Seems like it. I assume that what you want to show me or teach me, I assume that this is going to take more than, one day.
I'll take a little bit, Gotta share 70 years worth of knowledge with you.
I don't know Do you know anything about this whole Tombstone thing that's been happening?
Go ahead. When you say that, when you say the word Tombstone, go ahead and roll me a Wits and Insight check.
That is 1.
1. You don't notice too much in the change of her demeanor or her facial features, but she does have an eyebrow, like an eyebrow twitch, like the corner of her eye twitches a little bit, just like seemingly subconsciously. And she goes, "Oh, that stuff. No, like, know about as much as anybody else. The anarchs in the city are scared shitless, and well, the Camarilla even more so, because it seems that he's going after mostly Cam folks. Though, I do know that the night crew, I don't know if you've met them yet. If you do, watch out for them. But they haven't taken ownership of anything. And honestly, if it was them, I don't think they'd be plastering tombstones and making it all cloak and dagger. I think they'd be pretty out and proud about it."
Well, I'm still new to all of this, but not even just this situation, but just all of this seems like the less you know, the safer you are.
In some
But
regards, yeah. Others,
um,
not so much.
but I think that you have, out of all the people I've met in the past couple of days, and maybe I'm a little biased, and maybe some emotions running high here, but I'm making a calculated risk to trust you. And but if you think that you're better off not knowing what's going on with me, then that's fine. Not that I know that much to begin with, but um, what is going on may involve me having to check out this. And I just hold up like the phone with the news story on it.
Fair enough. Look, you go ahead and keep up your appearances with your new friends and with the prince and everything. Make sure you play your part perfectly. And I'll get in touch with you next. I'll come find you. Don't come looking for me, okay? Because you might
Okay.
bring unwanted attention.
Okay.
Just curious, has anyone asked you to visit them?
Has anyone asked me to visit them? I don't think so.
You would remember that you
I
did
forget.
receive a note that said "Come and find us," and it was the upside down pine tree symbol, and also Gregory Reuters did say he wanted to see you at some point
Oh,
to get a little bit more insight into your background and your whole sire situation.
um, I well, I'll pull out the note and show it to her. So someone did slip me this. I'm not even really sure what's going on,
She
but
takes it.
there's just so much going on. I didn't really get a lot of time to even look deeper into it.
She immediately, like, when she takes it, she, like, looks at it, and she looks at the symbol and stuff like that, then she goes, Reuters. Books. If you go and see him, don't let him touch your blood. Don't let him get a single drop of it. anything. You have to go do what you have to do, but I'm going to give you one lesson today, okay? You don't trust the Tremere. You don't trust Reuters.
Okay. Just across the board?
Let's just say here, it might be different in other places, but here, in Birmingham, there's a lot less the likes of you and I because of Reuters.
Okay. I will. I have taken that to heart.
Good. You go ahead and get along, okay? You meet up with your friends or partners. And just be smart. Be safe. Oh, I wanted to give you one thing. And she goes digging around in one of her cargo pants pockets, and then she pulls out a, like, bracelet. It's just, like, twine that has a couple of stones and other things. Like just, like, a amalgamation of, like nature kind of products in it. It's got, like, a couple of feathers on it as well. They seem to be, like, red hawk feathers. She goes, just something for me, just so you know that I'm not giving up on you or I didn't abandon you.
What's this?
It's just a gift, just a bracelet. Trust me, it's nothing spooky, nothing that's gonna, bind you to me or know that I can, know your true location at all times and stuff. But that stuff does exist, okay? I need you to be careful. If anybody offers you anything, you have to be careful, okay?
It is. It's a weird thing to say after offering someone something, but
I know, but you're in a weird situation now.
yeah, you're telling me.
Okay.
Well, okay then.
All right. I'm gonna go find something to eat. Be safe.
All right. I'll see you soon, hopefully.
She does like the weird, doesn't know what to do, bad at goodbyes kind of thing, and then just extends a hand to shake.
I shake her hand.
She goes, that's weird. She turns, she goes to the coyote and runs, hops over the fence. The coyote leaps over the fence and disappears into the tree line. So, y'all got the group chat, I'm assuming, are y'all coordinating getting up there?
I figured Madelyn would drive wherever, and I would just text them where we were parking.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just following navigation instructions to wherever we should park.
Okay. So, and I don't know if Books wants to tell them this or Books wants them to know, nearby where your haven is or anything like that, but his haven is on the way up towards the mountain. You're going to be driving past Liner. You're going up 20th Street from where you're at. It's a straight shot up 20th Street, and then it winds up through, a little carved through the mountain pass, and then you're going to be taking up a winding road up towards Vulcan in this sign. Altair is out of the way, and Highland Park. Highland Park is due cardinal north, but it's west from your location if you were facing Vulcan.
I'll probably send a message that says I'll need a ride. I'm near Ramsey High School. I can walk to 20th if you want, or whatever.
I relay that message while she's driving.
And I'll say, yeah, we'll go pick him up. Just pop in the address on my phone.
Go ahead. You walk out to 20th Street, probably meet them at the Oyster House, 5 Points Oyster House. It's right there on the way.
That works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watson looks up at you and goes, meow.
Do you want to come or do you want to go home? I don't know it might be kind of kind of weird out there, Watson?
Licks his hand a little bit. Looks at it and looks at you. He's willing to do whatever. You can get the feeling that he's willing to do whatever you need him to do. Whatever you prefer. Paw, sorry, hand.
Well, honestly, just come along. I was thinking like maybe it'd be weird if I brought my cat, but I somehow feel like they would get it.
Yeah. Watson stretches out and he rubs along your leg, and then he like kind of backs up and he does like a leap and he grabs onto your coat, the back of your coat, and then he gets up on your shoulder and just kind of like relaxes a little bit and like catches balance and everything.
Yeah, give him a little pet, little scratch, and his head over there.
Purring like a lawnmower engine, and you make your way. Altair.
Yes.
You gonna?
I think Altair has a car,
Altair does have a car.
so he'll probably just drive himself.
Okay.
Assuming,
I would
I mean,
assume it's probably here, even though your haven is different.
yeah, it's probably here. He spends a lot of
Also,
time here.
Aster has a car as well if you need to
Oh,
utilize
I
that as well.
don't want to bother him to ask him for a car. Not after ditching him.
Yeah, you go ahead and make out to your car. Just for my sake and for the sake of everybody at home, what kind of car do you think Altair drives?
Oh gosh, I don't really know cars very much. It's probably just some like basic, like,
Prius.
yeah, like some sedan that's like
Yeah.
good, but it ain't fancy. It gets the job
Economic.
done. Yeah.
Good for the environment as much as it
Yeah.
can be. Yeah, nice
Yeah.
little Prius. Yep, you go ahead and start it up. Doesn't make any noise. When you start it up, nice little electric car. And you go ahead and you make your way towards the WBRC sign. Let's go ahead and get this introduction with, as it has been stated, the most important member of the Coterie. Let's get Books and Madelyn, Aaron all in the same car, and then I will describe the drive up to where you're going. Books, you're outside of 5 Points Oyster House, a nice rustic place. It looks like a gastropub meets an oyster house on the corner. They've got the garage doors open and everything. You can hear music coming from it. There's people enjoying themselves, eating, drinking, carousing. Books, you're standing on the corner with Watson on your shoulder. At one point, you hear a drunk guy go, "Is that a fucking cat or a parrot? Is that a cat or a parrot?" And then somebody shushes them. You two pull up, and Madelyn is in a nondescript 4-door sedan. Looks like is it a Nissan? Is it a Honda? I don't know. It's something Japanese or Korean. Looks faded in the paint someplace. You see Aaron in the passenger seat, Madelyn driving.
I just make sure, like, have they stopped? I just make sure that they see me.
stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alan's just gonna pull up and be like,
They can't miss you. You've got a white cat on your shoulder.
I
"Is he
walk
the
up.
kid?"
I look at you. I look at Madelyn, and then I'm like, "Who's your friend?"
Is it okay if I bring my cat? This is Watson.
Soft
Yeah.
man.
Watson,
Yeah.
this is Madelyn and Ian.
Watson goes
Wow.
ahead and hops in the back seat
Oh,
and just
okay.
kind of like
Get on in
moves
there.
around in the back seat and then like stretches out, like big stretch, and then like
Sure, just make yourself right the fuck at home then.
starts kind of making biscuits on the opposite seat that's like on the driver's side behind you.
Ah, fuck, he's cute.
I'm immediately like, "Oh, hey, buddy," and I hold my hand out.
He looks at you and goes, and then looks at Books.
Yeah. I said Ian. Aaron.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, Ian is currently strung up between the signs.
Right.
Yeah. But he looks at you, Books. Watson looks at you, Books, in a way of looking for approval.
Is it cool, Madelyn?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. He's cute.
Watson goes ahead and nudges his head against Aaron's hand.
Fortuitous timing.
Like clockwork. All right.
Like you planned this.
Looks like we're good, Watson.
Watson just does another soft meow and
Just get in.
get in. So, for Altair and for all of you, driving up 20th Street is a winding road that you go up and you see various apartments and some large houses. As you get away from the hubbub of the city, you're going OTM or over the mountain towards Homewood. And it's almost like once you cross over this mountain, you're in a completely different area. Then you're in normal Alabama, what you would expect. You're away from the busy bar scene. You're away from the business offices and everything in the city. It's night and day. The lights come streaming in through the window periodically. You see cars, some coming to the city to enjoy a Sunday night out. Most of them leaving the city. And you see you're in the shadow of Vulcan, the Roman god, the symbol of Birmingham, him holding out a spear point towards the city, pointed towards north, and an anvil at his side, wearing an apron. He has a curly hair, curly beard, just a giant statue. And as you pull all over the mountain, down on the backside of it, you can also see his backside. Whoever designed the statue decided not to put pants on Vulcan. And so Homewood has a constant view of his ass.
Question real quick. What color light is on the Vulcan right now?
Right now, knowing what time it is, what time of year it is, has moved to an orange light on it.
All right.
What is... Why? I gesture at the statue. Why?
It's the Vulcan.
I'm not from your country. That's weird.
It's not that weird. The light is weirder. The light's morbid as hell.
It's a little weird. The entire thing is a little weird.
Trust me, the light's weirder.
Never really thought about it too much, to be honest.
Okay.
In almost a serendipitous moment, Altair, you find yourself behind Madelyn and Aaron and Books in a car. Like they're ahead of you. You can see their heads kind of like talking and gesturing towards the statue. And at the stoplight, you both pull in to the winding road that leads up to Vulcan. So the way to WBRC's station, you have to go up towards Vulcan, and there's a little side gate that goes up there. Once you get about 100 feet up the drive to Vulcan, you notice that there is a police line up. They've got tape up, and they've got sawhorses up, and there are a couple of BPD officers standing there keeping people away. There's some people that are standing outside, like they walked up here seemingly. If there's a big thing happening, people have a tendency to gather. It's the hive mentality. And they're trying to wave people away. There is a parking lot for you both to park, though.
All right, I'm going to pull in and park, make sure that there is another spot next to me so that Altair can park beside me.
Got it.
I'll pull on in right next to you.
Excellent. And you have the scene now.
I'm just going to roll the window down. There's a cat in here now.
Altair kind of looks in the back.
You do, in
sees
fact,
Watson,
see
I imagine.
a white cat that is curled next to Books. And it's just kind of chilling.
Watson, this is Altair. Altair, this is Watson.
Soft meow.
Oh, nice to meet you, Watson. So, what is the plan?
Well, Aaron and I want to be nosy.
Yeah.
That pretty much sums it up.
Oh, okay. I
Can't fix everybody's problems around here, but might be evidence we need.
You said, Wes, that we saw the police line, like.
Yeah, you can see it off some distance. You can see there's some people gathered around it, and there's some officers standing there. On the other side of the sawhorses in the police line, they're just like, please back away. No, this is an ongoing crime scene. Just watch the news or Twitter or something.
Okay. I have a question. Can I have a premonition?
Ooh. You know what? I don't see why not.
I like premonitions, you know?
Yeah, hey, what's not to like? Let me go ahead and pull it up here on my handy dandy Google Doc.
Let me do a rouse check.
Yeah, you gotta do a rouse check for me. As you feel the beast kind of pulling at you and being like, come on, come on. He's so fresh. You could just bite into him. Maybe the cat too.
Failed that. Alright.
You get a little bit hungrier.
Get a little hungry. Alright, so. Hunger 2. Resolve plus aspects.
Yep. Resolve plus aspects.
Alright. Four successes.
You kind of, this one, like the last one you had, it kind of took you out of it. You know, you kind of felt like yourself falling out of it. This one seems to have like, it's kind of enveloped itself in the environment. It's made itself a part of the environment. So you see the police line and everything. You're kind of looking around. You can see the pine trees and everything around. And then all of a sudden you start hearing water lapping. Like lapping against a shore. And you're looking around. And you're on a rocky beach. And you see 3 boats coming full speed towards the beach, coming right at you. And they have giant sails on them. And they have figureheads on the front. And on the sails, you see, it's not like, it's a very stylized, guess you could say like a squid or an octopus of some sorts on it. Arms tangling, reaching out, grasping. And each of the figureheads on the boats are different. And then you realize as they get closer, it's not figureheads like carved wood, but it's actually heads. It's severed heads on them. And they're coming right at you. And they ram and slam into the shoreline full speed. The gravel and the rock moving apart and aside. And then you see men pouring over the sides of them. With shields and spears and swords, wearing armor, chainmail, leather armor, furs, and they're moving towards you. And they look like they're going to attack you. And you see right before you get swarmed and enveloped and submerged by these bodies of these countless Vikings of sorts, you see one standing beside the figurehead of the center ship. Tall, almost 7 feet tall. Not wearing a shirt, covered in paint. Like this purple paint. And it seems to be tentacles coming from his head. and his face has purple paint across the eyes. And he's standing there, and he has this double, like this double bearded axe. And he has blonde hair twisted into knots leading down, and he's shaved on the sides, and it comes down to 3 braids, and he has his beard braided. And he yells something in a language that you don't understand, but in your head it's almost like you have one of those translator pieces that they have at the UN. You hear someone, and it sounds like Aster almost, saying, "Take everything. Leave no one alive. This is ours now. They've had it for too long." And then you like kind of shake, and you all see Altair kind of like staring off in the woods and kind of looking freaked out. And then shakes, and then he's back, and you're back.
You with us?
Yeah.
You good?
Sorry.
Okay.
You all right, little one? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Not a ghost.
Oh, you did. You had one of those. All right. Anything we need to know?
I think Altair gets this very thoughtful look on his face, and he says, "Boats, squids, Vikings. I don't think it's really
I don't think it's all that relevant. All right.
Yeah, sorry."
It's fine.
Sounds cool, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over there and see what I can see.
Yeah, I am going to just throw up Silence of Death and Unseen Passage. I think Unseen I need a rouse check.
Yes.
Yeah. I pass.
Got it. Okay.
So I'm just gonna go.
Perfect.
And
I'm just gonna walk
over. I'm gonna follow along with Aaron, just out of the way in case anyone gets close to him.
Excellent.
I'm just gonna walk right over to the police line.
Got it. Altair and Books, what are you doing?
I think Altair is gonna just try to, as much as he hates crowds, go just stand with the crowd of people who have all gathered. He doesn't want to go beyond the police line. He just wants to be in the, well, he doesn't want to be in the crowd, but he's going to be in the crowd.
Yeah. As you walk over, you can hear them kind of murmuring, asking what's going on, rumors. They said they found somebody. Apparently he's still alive or something, or I don't know, it seems like he's alive. Kind of talking about rumors. Books, what are you doing?
I kind of I want to move a little bit slower so that I'm behind everyone, and when everyone's in front of me,
Okay.
I want to pull out my phone.
Okay.
And I want to text Malcolm, and I want to share the news story, and just say, "Know anything about this?" ? That's it. And I put
Okay.
the phone in my pocket, and then I walk up towards where Aaron is, or I just follow Aaron basically.
Got it. All right. I'll make a note. Okay. Excellent. Sorry, I was just taking and got it. Dancing around a bunch of Google Docs right now. Perfect. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and go with Aaron here.
Yeah. All right.
You walk right up to the police officers. One of them goes, "Hey, pal, there's no civil."
Pull out a badge.
Yeah, pal, go on ahead.
Close it. Put it back in my jacket.
And just wave him on through.
Yep. I walk right through the line, and then I stay out of everyone's way, and I'm gonna. Are there sirens going or just lights?
Just lights. You can see there's more lights kind of flashing up, and you can see the glow, the orange glow of the fire that's still going a little bit, but it's gotten smaller since there's been people that are coming attended to it.
I'm gonna turn
Altair,
Heightened
Books, and Madelyn, you see Aaron just walk on through, like hold up something.
Oh, I was following him, so I saw exactly what he did. And Madelyn is just following with him with certainly a face right now.
Books, you and Altair see them, or you don't see Madelyn, but you see Aaron just walking right on up.
Yep. And I'm going to activate heightened senses.
Excellent. Go ahead. Yeah.
And I'm just going to take a good look around.
Okay.
What evidence, like, not just like what's there, but like what evidence is being collected? What are people saying about it? Just trying to take in everything at once.
Go ahead and give me a Wits and Resolve check for the heightened senses.
Sure.
And you get to add your auspex for that as you're kind of taking this all in.
Yep. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 with a crit.
Okay, got it. Okay, 6 with a crit. Keep that in mind. Books. You get a text back from Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "Oh, bro." Typing. Weary face, like the face, over and over and over. "You know I'm already on top of this shit, bro. Internet's going to buzz, dude. This shit's got to be some, like, kind of initiation or something. This is the shit that we were talking about. Can't talk much more about it, though. Not a secure line." You respond.
I just say, okay, cool. We'll talk.
Fuck yeah. Can't wait. This shit just got elevated, bro. And then he sends a gif of the Shaka bra from, like, South Park. That Hang 10.
I also I just whisper to Watson, if you can you try to get in there and see if you see anything weird? Like, if you get in trouble, obviously, don't get yourself hurt, but it'd be easier to get through than me, probably.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and, yeah. He just hops down. And he just goes, meow, and he rubs against your leg, and then he just starts trotting off towards the tree line to kind of, like, flank around. He's going to try to move on in there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. Before I make this description of the scene that Aaron and Madelyn's coming up to, is there anybody that wants to do anything else?
I think all that Altair is planning to do is just stand in the crowd, listen for any rumors or any, like, bits of information that he can gather just by being there.
Dope. Okay. Go ahead, while I'm describing this next scene, can you go ahead and make me a streetwise and wits check?
Just Altair.
Just Altair.
I sure can.
What, Altair not too streetwise? Not Billy on the street? What'd you get? Nothing? I
dropped
a dice. Sorry.
I got a 1. One success.
One success. Okay, keep that in mind. So, Aaron, you're walking up to the scene, and you let the beast kind of take a little bit of hold as your blood kind of moves. Your ears perk up. You can hear people talking behind you. You can hear an animal moving to the right of you into the wood line. You can hear people moving on dirt and moving around up near the top. As you're walking up, your eyes kind of get that sense of that you can see around corners almost, but without seeing around corners. Like you kind of have that sense of like thing, like using the associated sound, sight, smell, all your senses together. You see much clearly there's a few police cars up, or police SUVs here in Birmingham. Police SUVs up ahead as you're walking up. And go ahead and make me a wits and resolve check. Madelyn, you don't want to be found by anybody, right?
That is correct.
Madelyn, go ahead and give me a associated dexterity stealth check, and then I guess utilizing your unseen passage, correct?
It would be wits and obfuscate
Wits and obfuscate, yeah.
Yeah.
versus my wits and resolve.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's me that's making this. Okay.
Yep.
No, I'm using heightened senses, not sense the unseen.
Not since the unseen. Okay, cool. Good, great.
Sorry.
Great.
Now that I rolled.
So wait, which roll am I making?
You don't have to make any.
You don't have to make the roll anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, never mind.
I don't have sense the unseen.
Yeah, he's got heightened sense. That's my bad.
Yeah, no, I'm staying extremely quiet and just off his flank.
Got it.
So no one can bump into me.
Yeah. You do hear leaves moving, but you can't kind of place them underneath from behind you, but it could be another animal, or it could just be backtracking from you walking. As you both get towards this scene, and you see there's 3 police SUVs parked off to the side. You see the sign, and you see a great view of the city, a fantastic view of the city from here. You see all the lights of it around. You can also see the smoke billowing out of Regiment's Harbor Plaza down in the downtown district. And you see police lights flashing from there as well. You can hear more sirens coming from the city as they're going there. It seems like the BPD and the BFD are going to be pulling double duty this evening.
Okay.
So now, you see there are various police officers talking, standing around. There's an ambulance that has set up, but it's empty as of late. And you see, or as of right now, it's empty. And as you get closer to the sign, you do see the shape of Ian Morris is still strung up, and there's a couple of police officers standing around him, and you see a couple of EMTs standing around him, seemingly not knowing what to do with him. This is an active crime scene, and they're having to wait on detectives.
How is he strung up?
He is strung up.
Sorry, by what?
Oh, by wire, it seems. It seems like a
Okay.
metal taut wire has held him up by his hands, and his feet are dangling free. But they're together, but they're not tied. It seems that somebody has staked his feet.
A heavy gauge enough wire to hold a man, but not enough to sever anything.
Yep.
Okay.
And you can see that they're starting to put out the fire of the bodies, but they're trying to be careful about it because it is a crime scene, and they were found lit on fire. And you can smell gasoline in the air and vitae. It's rich. Your hunger level is at what, Aaron? 2? So you're fine for right now. But
Madelyn
it's
might
moving
catch
around.
him make a face though. It's not a happy face.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't see she don't got a happy face either.
Can I listen in on the conversation that the EMTs and cops by looking at Ian Morris are having?
Yeah. So currently they're talking. They're like, I don't fucking know. We gotta wait for the detectives. But is this guy alive? Like his eyes are open and everything. But like, and then the EMTs are like, from what we can tell, he's not breathing or anything like that. I don't know. He could just be like that. And they're like, his skin is gone. Like, it's gone. It's gone. Like, what kind of who fucking does this kind of shit? And they're like, and the EMT's like, look, I've seen a lot of stuff in my day. There's only a few things that can cut as cleanly as that. Are you walking up to them?
Nope, I'm listening from a distance.
Just
with heightened
listening from a
senses.
distance. Books and Altair. You hear a heavy V8 engine roar up behind you and then kind of squeal as it parks in the parking lot. It seems to be like a new model, blacked out Dodge Challenger. It's got police lights on it. And you see, surprisingly, get out of the driver's seat and close it, the door with the tinted windows. Somebody wearing jeans, a leather jacket, and they have a gun on a holster on their belt that has a badge on the other side. The sheriff, Jada Velasco, walking up, which I've got to make a roll here real quick.
Wow.
Books, you would remember her from last night, seemingly like being very protective of the prince and everything. She's walking up. She's like, "Move, make a hole, make a hole, make a hole." And then she stops at the sawhorses, and you can see her nostrils flare out. And then she looks at you, Altair, and then Books, clocks you, and goes, "These two are with me. They're persons of interest." And just like point, and then one of the police officers are like, "You got it, Jada." Like walking up. Aaron, you can hear behind you that engine, and then you hear Jada Velasco's voice and says, "These twos are with me." Books, Altair, are you following them? Or following her?
Yes.
Yes, I do not think I will defy the sheriff today.
Follow
Say
along. The cops
quietly.
look at you both like, what the fuck?
I will say quietly enough so only someone standing directly next to me would hear me. That's okay. This got more interesting. And I'm gonna turn around and see if she notices me, and if she doesn't, walk over.
Walking up the drive, you see Jada Velasco with Altair and Books following behind. You can also hear clock to your left, something moving out of the tree line that's kind of like a white shape. Kind of moves out of the tree line. It gets kind of like sits by a bush that's kind of close to where the action has happened, the crime scene's at. And then you also hear behind you go, "Oh, there's the detective now." And Jada comes up and goes, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Me?
Yeah.
Well, you know probably as much as I do at this point, but they don't know what to do with him. They were waiting on you, which is probably for the best.
Of course they don't fucking know what to do with him. And then she like turns and she looks up past you, and you hear a, "Hey, Detective Velasco. We're just waiting for you here. Crime scene, it's all been cleared out and everything." Who are these clowns?
I don't turn around so whoever this is doesn't see my face.
Jada goes, "Oh, this is, points to Books, right along. This is also a psychologist the department has brought along, an analyst of these kind of things, crime scene analyst, a specialist a little bit." He goes, "Oh, like that Hannibal TV show." He goes, "Yes, just like that. And this right here is a new partner." "Oh, new partner. Okay. All right. We're ready for you." And with that, we are going to go ahead and take a quick 5-minute bio break. So go ahead and get some more water, or get you a snack or a drink or something. And we will be right back. hope everyone had an excellent break. Hope you grab some more snacks and everything like that. So we're getting into our second half of tonight's show. Now, Jada Velasco, sheriff, who is also apparently a police detective, who knew, has shown up to the scene and has seemingly gave you very thinly veiled reasons for being here. So, I see you. Zach, I see you. So, I'm going to kind of leave this portion open to you all. This is what I like to do in a lot of my games if they're like investigative in nature, where we've kind of been following a thread and we've been doing all of our stuff, but you now have a area, which is a crime scene, that you have seemingly free reign of. And you also have first responders here that you can talk to and then get a little bit more information from. So you essentially can do what you want to. Now, Books, you have Watson here as well, so you can utilize that to your advantage because he has a way of getting into places and noticing things that other people might overlook him because he's just a cat. but a cat at a crime scene, So just think about what that in a sense as well. So good on you for bringing him. But yeah, who wants to kick off our own little version of IC Noir, or Iron City Noir?
While Velasco is dealing with the officers, the uniformed officers, and the EMTs, I'm gonna saunter over to evidence collection.
Evidence collection. All right. Altair, do you have anything that you want to do?
Yeah, you said there were first responders there. I want to talk to them, the people who were here first.
The paramedics
The first
and the police
responders,
officers.
one might say.
Got
Yeah.
it. Excellent. And books?
Do I see Watson currently, or did he just run off somewhere?
You kind of think you're like, where's Watson? And then you immediately kind of like turn and you see he's kind of behind a bush and he's like moving closer and he's kind of like looking towards, since all the attention's been pulled off of the scene itself where it happened, he's starting to look around a little bit and sniff a little bit around like the bodies that have been doused, like the flames are been doused a little bit and everything, but they're still kind of smoldering.
So with the Famulus, is it like can I impress things upon the cat like mentally, or do I have to like talk to it?
So you do have feral whispers, so that can work in conjunction with that. You can utilize feral whispers to give him commands, and since you have a Famulus, you don't have to roll for feral whispers against him. It just kind of happens, and that would be the same thing if you had subsumed the spirit, but I don't think you have that yet.
But is it like do we have to be like in the same location for that to work, for example?
I mean, you're technically in the same scene, so you're in the same location now. So you could probably just like look towards him and kind of like do the Aquaman thing, where it kind of like mentally suggests to do things.
Okay. Well, firstly, I want to do that. Basically, tell Watson, just like as soon as you see anything that looks a little bit out of the ordinary, just immediately let me know, or if you have to come back to me, then do that.
Perfect. All right. I'll do some rolls. All right, and Madelyn.
So, Aaron, where did you go?
I am casually moving over to where they are placing collected evidence.
Okay, I'm fucking off from that. Since no one can hear or see me, I am going towards the sign, the body, since I can get close to it. And I'm going to try and just like get as close as I can to get as many details about the body that maybe can't be seen from standing back. Any up close details.
Perfect. All right, so since we already got you here, we're going to go ahead and do this first.
Okay.
So I hope you're ready. Go ahead and make me, and depending on what you're looking at, depends on the roll here. So if you want to look at the body first, then that will determine the roll that you're going to make. If you want to look at like the wires or the sign itself, or like this, or the burned bodies or anything like that, then that just determines.
So first, before I get too close to the body, I want to look at the wires and how they're connected to the sign and make sure that it's just stable.
Got it. So go ahead and make me an intelligence and either investigation or technology roll.
Let's make that technology.
Excellent.
3 successes. Nope, 4. Sorry, 4.
Okay, 4 successes. So just looking at the signs right now, so the signs are a giant WBRC neon signs that have the red letters and stuff, and they typically come up here and do Christmas stuff for them and everything like that, and kind of do some additional things like they do with Vulcan. You can tell that the wire that is being used is a taut cable wire. That seems out of place here, but it's the kind that you would use for a cable car of some sorts, or like at a ski resort, or the trams or something like that. It has been tied in a very, very intricate but taut knot around the lower half of the B and on the lower rung of the R. The knot itself seems to be a variation of a 2/2 hitch knot that is easy to... It's strong, it stays, but if you need to, if you know how to utilize knots, you can pull it quickly. Those are attached at his wrists, and it seems that his wrists have been wrapped multiple times and doubled back on themselves and tied off in a simple square knot, so that at any point, if there was any like tugging or anything like that, it's another very simple knot that that holds, but it's not as strong as a 2/2 hitch or other like complex knots. But you can also just untie it easily, though with metal cables, who's to say? His hands are currently very, very, very purple, blackish almost. It seems that like whatever vitae that was in, or maybe he had just freshly fed or something, it's being cut off in his hands. And if you want to go, if you need anything else, any other details about that, let me know, or we can
Not
move
from
on to
there.
Okay.
I'm now going to... How far is the body suspended off the ground?
It's about 2 feet suspended off the ground.
Oh, 2 feet. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to go up close and just without touching, nothing to break my obfuscate. But I'm going to get as close as possible to examine the body, since I have a specialty in first aid.
Got it. Go ahead and give me, with the specialty, an intelligence medicine check.
Will do. That will be 4 successes critical.
Excellent. And by the way, I did put up a content warning, but this is going to get pretty ghastly. When you get up close, you can tell just by looking at the face, this is Ian Morris. This is the Ventru Whip, also personal assistant to Carson Collier. His face is surprisingly untouched. Angelic-like. He was a very pretty man in life and in undeath. Almost could have convinced that he was a Toreador. He has very symmetrical features. His hair has been tousled. It seems like he's been struggling a little bit. There are a little bit of... It seems like there was some struggling where his face got hit at one point, but that mark has subsided. It wasn't hard enough to leave any bruising. It was just like a mark or something. Below his collarbone, he has been stripped down to his underwear. He's not wearing any other clothes. The skin of his forearms and his upper arms and his torso have been flayed. Whoever did this had time and had a deft touch to be able to take something that it only took off the skin very clean like an experienced hunter that knows exactly how to skin a deer. his legs are not flayed, but have runes carved into them. The runes for change and tide. And there is some carryover with sun and ash as well.
Are they the same ones as the thing Aaron found?
Sun and ash is, yes.
Okay.
But the change and tide are different.
All right.
His feet have been impaled together with a dagger of some sorts, a knife. It seems to be you'd have to pull it out to double check, but it seems to be like a Bowie knife of some sorts.
I can't pull that out without breaking obfuscate.
There's also a stake in his chest, and it seems to be of similar make of the one that you found in Laszlo Khan's chest as well.
Okay, so one of the metal ones with the button.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can see the same thorn, serpent, sun, ash on runes in that as well.
Let's see. So that's his chest. Is his back in the same condition? Flayed as well?
You move around, and it seems that nobody noticed it before because they were kind of distracted with the burning bodies and everything. But his back has been flayed open, and his lungs have been pulled through, as if to be wings, a
Yep.
blood eagle of sorts.
Yep. All right. Madelyn would recognize that from medical things. I'm going to...
Also to note, his eyes are wide open,
yeah.
and he is not dead.
Yeah.
He is.
He's torpid.
He's dead, but he's undead. He's torpid.
Yeah. I am going to go back to where Aaron is and just stay quiet for now. Because I think we are in front of too many people for me to drop obfuscate or say anything. So I'm just going to go back and sit in this horrific knowledge.
Altair, you're going to go up. Velasco is talking and just getting details from the officers of how they were found. When they responded there was a call because there was open fire on WBRC. The firemen came, and they've had to keep the firemen back a little bit because it is a crime scene, so they're having to handle things deftly. The flames had started to go out on the bodies, but they didn't want to touch or disturb anything. They say a bunch of times, "This is out of my pay grade." Like it's fucked up and everything. Velasco has to let them know that like it's fine. They'll get it taken care of. The first responders, the EMT responders, they're like, all intents and purposes, this guy should be dead to Velasco, but like his eyes are open and like they don't seem like dead eyes. Like, I don't know. It's weird. And you walk up. Velasco goes, "Oh, this is well, introduce yourself to them."
One second. Ha. Great. Okay. So Altair will introduce himself. My name is Mark. I am the God, out of character. What did Jada say? He was a criminal
Velasco
psychologist.
kind of sees you saying Mark and goes, "Oh, please don't be so modest. This is Dr. Mark Morrison from UAB. He's the premier runologist and a symbology professor, as well as a criminal psychologist that has specialized in serial killings. Isn't that right, Mark?"
Yes, that's correct. Thank you, Detective.
I've got to make some rolls here real quick. Sorry.
Yes, that's me.
One of the EMTs kind of like goes like, and the cops are like, oh yeah, totally. Yeah, runologist, symbology, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, carry on.
I think, and you kind of already described it a little, but I think Altair would just ask for another rundown of like how things were first found, and so you don't have to say it all again.
The EMTs say that like the state of the bodies that have been burned seem that they were placed in a specific manner. And they'd have to get up closer look, or they'd have to get like an autopsy report to see how, like, if they were killed beforehand or after, like what exactly the cause of death was.
Right.
The cops go like, I don't know, like when we got up here, it just seemed like a normal bushfire. We just wanted to pull them out. You know, maybe some kids fucking around after like Halloween or something. But like, and then we saw all that, and then he goes, Greg over here threw up. And he goes, shut up, all right? You'd throw up too. It's just not right and stuff. Do you see a lot of this stuff often?
Not quite so gruesome, I suppose, but and then Altair will ask, partially because I can't remember, someone had called in the fire. Was it just like a anonymous 911 call, or?
Go ahead and roll me a charisma and persuasion here. As he's kind of like looking at you and goes like, let's see how that... The cop kind of goes like, he's like, I don't know if that pertains to the symbols and stuff.
That is a 5 messy crit.
5 messy crit.
Whoops.
Let's all go to the big book. Let's all go to the big book. Let's all go to the big book to see how this plays out. Boom, 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 ba-dum, boom, boom. Boom, 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 ba-dum, boom, boom. All right. So, he looks at you and he goes, okay, so when you do it,
Great.
okay, yeah. So, when you do it, you start thinking a little bit. Like you say that, and you're like, well, look, like, you know, every little detail is important and everything like that. And you start getting insecure a little bit, and you start realizing that this EMT is looking at you. And this police officer's looking at you, and this other police officer's looking at you, this other EMT is looking at you, and so is Jade of Velasco looking at you, and they've got you in the spotlight. What are you doing in the spotlight? This isn't your, like, MO. Like, you talk to people one-on-one. Like you're very personal, interpersonal, and everything, and, like, you just wish these people could go away. And you just go away. And for the rest of the scene, you are going to roll at a 2 dice penalty involving any rolls that have to deal with composure. As you realize that they're on top of your coterie members that are here too, because you want to do well in front of them. And that also realizes that goes back to the prince. And if anything that bad happens directly relates to you, then that could go back on Aster. And there's just a lot of pressure happening right now. And the guy goes, like, he kind of looks at you, and he goes, actually, that's kind of the weird thing. Yeah, like, we got a phone call, and it wasn't like 911 or anything like that. They called the precinct, and they just kind of yelled, there's a fire up by the WBRC sign, and then hung up. And then we kind of, like, looked out the window, and then, yeah, there it was, and everything. We had to, like, kick the press out of here. They're all down by the sawhorse and everything, but, like, a bunch of... It's weird. The news people were here before the police. Like, before us and everything. Like, we had to, like, run them off because they were filming everything.
Yeah, that's interesting. Did they were they able to trace the call?
Look, I know you're a symbologist, all right? And then you're like, you specialize in runology and serial killers and everything like that, okay? Okay, Starling or Hannibal or whatever, Dr. Will Graham, okay? But look, this isn't the movies, this isn't the television shows, all right? We have to have an understanding of, like, tracing the phone call. You have to have, like, a setup with it that it has to go for longer than 30 seconds of some dude in a gravelly voice yelling, there's a fire up in the WBRC building, you know?
Right. And then I think there's, like, this very long pause, and then he's like,
Oh God, everybody's staring at you.
yeah, exactly. And then he's like, I can I go up and look at the scene a little closer?
Can you go up and look at the scene? Well, yes, of course, if it's okay with Velasco. Velasco, is it okay with you if this doctor goes and looks at the scene? Please don't try to throw up on the scene or anything like that. And then Greg is like, hey, stop being an asshole, okay? Yeah, go ahead and check it out if you want to.
Cool. And he's just gonna, like, without waiting, he's just going. He's like,
Yeah,
I
just
need to be
fucking
away from these
bold.
people.
Just like
Yeah.
bold. And then you just hear from behind you, Velasco go, really? Asshole. And walk off. Aaron. Evidence collection.
Yes.
So you do see there's only a few of those, like, yellow, like, numbers that are spread out and everything around certain areas. And there is a tarp that has been set up with some other stuff where they've been splayed out and like, you do see that, like, CSI is starting to set up here, crime scene is starting to set up and, like, take pictures of things.
Yep.
But yeah, so why don't you go ahead and give me an area that you want to check first, and we'll go ahead and make a roll.
Check the tarp and see what they've collected.
Check the
what's
tarp.
over there already.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a wits investigation.
Yep. 3.
3. When you get up to the tarp, there are only about 3 objects that are laid out. Not a lot of evidence. There seems to be a boot, but it's not like a regular boot. It's like a Chelsea boot.
Okay.
You go ahead and you go to, like, pick it up, and then you see somebody in a clean suit that is, like, just got their clean suit on and go, hey, protocol, pal.
Yeah. No
What
worries.
the hell
no
are
worries.
you doing?
Velasco told me to check out what's been collected so far.
And then, like, she goes ahead and grabs, like, some gloves from the back of their van and, like, tosses them to you and goes, please do not, like, get your greasy fucking detective fingers all over this place, okay?
Sure. No worries. Just casually dismiss.
Yeah, no worries. Do you go ahead and put the gloves on?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and put the gloves on, and you pick up the boot. It is a size 8 boot.
Okay.
Chelsea style. And it seems to be from an Italian clothes maker. It's like top of the line, exclusive,
High-end.
custom made, high end, like Italian shoemaker, cobbler, whatever you want to call them, and size 8, like I said. And it has some blood on it, on the top of it.
Okay.
Very clearly. But it doesn't have any like mud on it or anything like that. Pretty clean except for the blood on it.
Okay. I'll just put it down for now and make a mental note to check and see if our flayed man wears size 8.
The next thing you see is a calla lily. A single white calla lily that's just sitting there.
Pick that up.
Pick it up. Seems to be in full bloom. Seems like it's been snipped and stemmed properly from a florist. It seems like it was picked out from a floral shop. There's
Was this
no
already bagged?
ribbon or anything like that. Yeah, it's bagged.
Okay. I'm going to put it back down and look at the other item that you said was there, but then I'm going to sleight of hand that into my jacket.
Got it. Okay. A pair of wire cutters, like big, bulky industrial wire cutters, though.
Okay. I think I know what those were used for.
And you can see that there's like a fresh indentation on them as well from like them snipping something. You want to go ahead and nab that calla lily? Go ahead and give me that dexterity larceny check there, homie.
7 with a crit.
7 with
Normal
a crit.
crit.
Yeah, you go ahead and like very quickly like grab the bag and you put it in your inside pocket when somebody's like taking pictures of something else and everything like that.
Yeah.
Books. You get a feeling.
Okay.
What were you doing while you're like waiting for like Watson to like while he's like looking around?
What is Velasco doing? She's just standing around, kind of.
Velasco was like talking with Altair and the cops and getting information from the scene. And after that whole like asshole, like calls the cop for being an asshole. She's walked off and she's looking at an area that's marked. It seems to be like a yellow. It's got a number on it too, but it's a yellow like little thing that suggests that there's some evidence right there. She's got a flashlight out and she's looking at it.
And what is kind of the layout again? Like how far away is? Well, I guess you can go.
Okay, so how far away is
Like how far apart are people? Like how far away is Aaron from?
So to give like a side of the scene on like let's say like looking at your right hand side, that's the view with the sign and the bodies that were on fire in front of it. On the left hand side, that's where the cop cars have set up and the CSI van, and that's where the tarp is. And there's about like a 200-foot gap in between those two areas, 200 to 300 foot gap between those areas. It's kind of a spread out area. There's also been areas marked where periodically, like on the ground, where it seems to be a place, a focal point of interest, maybe like some evidence or something. And then, so you've got like over here, the view with the sign, over here, the tarp with the vans and the ambulance and everything like that. Right here, bottom half, the bottom quadrant is where you've got the road leading up from, like, it's like the gravel road leading up to the sign.
Okay. And so Velasco has walked away from
the
where
left
the body-
has walked away from the evidence tarp kind of thing, like kind of towards the center more where the paramedics and the police were talking. They're kind of like in the center of everything. And you've probably noticed that Altair has gotten the headlight eyes going on now. It's like making sure nobody looks at him.
I would. I think I was probably just sticking close to Velasco since I was introduced as the ride along. I'm just kind of like playing that role. I would like to go up to, I guess I guess it's the EMTs or the people near the bodies.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and I'll say, hey, I mean, I've gotten the basics of what's going on here, but I'm a journalism student. I got this big project I'm trying to do, and I haven't been doing so well. And I'm on this ride along, just trying to figure this stuff out. But if you can help me out with like any like really cool, juicy information, I think that would help me on this project a lot. If there's nothing to say, then that's cool too. But just trying to see what I can gather.
Journalism student, and you're trying to get some juicy details, I guess. Yeah. Trying to up the school newspaper. Yeah, I get it. Hey, go Blazers. I went to UAB
Absolutely,
too.
go Blazers.
Go ahead and make go ahead and make either a charisma or manipulation persuasion. Two. He goes, look, in an official capacity, I'm not supposed to tell anything, but like this is kind of fucked up. And like if you can get me in like in any kind of paper or stuff like that as like a source, I've always wanted to be a source. So do you smoke?
Come
on over. He walks towards the ambulance, and he walks to the other side of the ambulance, and he pulls out a pack of cigarettes, like pulls one out, he offers out the pack to you. He goes, you want one?
I take one.
Take one? He goes, okay. And he like lights it, and he goes, oh, you need your own light. And he goes and he lights it for you. And he goes, so, this is fucked up. Like, all this is fucked up, okay? And this isn't the first time that I've been on one of these fucked up sites, okay? You know the first one? The first guy that got grabbed and everything like that? I was there too. I was the responder for that one. This, though, is a lot more intricate than all that shit. Like, that one was just some dude that had been, like, nailed to the wall, to, like, a brick wall and everything like that. And, like, he just had, like, paint on him and everything like that. But, like, the cops didn't notice it, and he flicks it. This guy had his lungs out of his back, Like that fucking... You see that Midsommar movie? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The one with, like, the girl that killed her boyfriend? Yeah, it's, like, really fucked up, man. Like poor guy. Like, that's rough, man. But, like that one dude that's, like, strung up and everything like that, and he's got, like, his lungs coming out. Like, that's, like, some heavy, like... That's some heavy shit, You don't see that shit. Not here in Birmingham. Mostly we get is people getting like shot and everything like that, Fucking,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a good opportunity to get a good story, and this is definitely wild. You say you never seen anything like this before?
No. And that's not even the kicker. Okay, the guy's lungs were out, but then the people that were in front of him, they were all putting like shapes and stuff like that. And they've got this rune expert here and everything like that. I'm thinking it's something compared to that. Like there's like special shapes and stuff like that. And we found these people, they were covered in gasoline. You can still smell it. They were on fire when we got here. Like that stuff is just now going out and smoldering. But like they were all kind of like contorted and bent like wrong. Like not like normal, just like making a C on the floor when you're doing yoga or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But like there's people's like arms that were like not supposed to be right where they were or anything like that. And like,
you think it was intentionally done wrong? Like in unnatural poses, I guess?
Look, I don't know, because I'm not a, like a coroner or anything like that. I just went to EMT school. I didn't go to medical school. But I'm pretty sure that people aren't supposed to have 3 arms. You know what I'm saying?
3 arms?
Yeah, I mean, it could just have been like somebody had like added in just to make it look like something, but I could have swore that somebody had a 3rd arm growing out of them.
Was it just one of them, or did many of them have
I didn't
that?
get too good of a look, because like when I was getting too close, like the fire was still kind of going, but like, whew, brother, you're telling me. I wouldn't be surprised if they had other limbs growing off of them, you know what I'm saying? And he like puts the cigarette down, and he stamps on it and everything like that. Oh shit. And he goes and he picks up the butt, and he's like, don't want to like, get myself stuck in a crime scene or anything like that. And he puts it in his shirt pocket.
Wow, that's definitely interesting. That might do it. I mean, what's your name? If I can get you in the story, I can quote you if you want.
Look, my name's Raul. You can find me around. I'm at UAB right now, but you can just call me like R in your story or something like that. Like my source, like
R, yeah.
R or something, because like I don't want it to get back to me that like things
Sure.
have been happening.
Makes perfect sense.
All right, you have a good one, brother. I'm gonna get back to work.
All right, I appreciate that.
When you are done talking with them, you hear a meow coming from the tree line on the other side of the ambulance.
I look over to where I assume Watson is.
You see Watson's white shape, and he's pawing at something that's caught in a bush that's outside of the tree, like outside of the scene. That's like kind of stuck in the trees and the shrubs and everything.
Okay, I will go over there immediately.
You go over, and he goes, meow. Another soft meow, and he kind of sits back on his haunches, and he like looks at something, and you see there's a burlap sack, or like it looks like a burlap sack, and once you get up closer to it, it seems like a leather kind of like body bag shape, and it has like thick like sewing into it that's been opened. It's opened at one end.
So it's like a big sack.
That's just it's been crumpled up someplace, like it was tossed off to the side.
Okay. Does it look like there's anything currently in it, or can I like?
When you go ahead and you pick it up, you see it is like human length, like 6 foot length, and there's something in the bottom of it. And you go ahead, do you dump it out? Do you like turn it out of the end so it like falls out?
Am I in a spot where someone can see me?
Not right now, no. You're at the edge and everybody's focused on the dead bodies and stuff like that. And Velasco's kind of like leading people around, getting people ready for stuff. Talking to CSI, having them take pictures of tire tracks and stuff.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and like just try to turn it over. But I do want to just make sure no one's seeing me and try not to make too much noise.
When you turn it over, there is multiple things. There's a boot. Seems to be like a Chelsea-style boot. There's also a pair of slacks with a belt still on it, and it seems that they've been ripped, like somebody had ripped them off. There's also a very nice, like collared white shirt that seems the buttons have been ripped off of it, and it's ripped and it's bloodied in places. There's a hole in it where there's like something has been stabbed through, and there's like some blood clottage around there. There's also a suit jacket, and the slacks and the suit jacket match. They're Burberry, and it's been tailored. and then something else kind of squelches out as it hits the ground. And it seems to be pale skin.
Just like loose, like a bunch of skin.
Like a bunch of skin. Like something had been skinned, and like instead of keeping it and using it, has been just abandoned. And there seems to be, it's kind of low light right now, and like Watson is kind of like tensed up, but there seems to be writing on it.
On the skin.
On the skin.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to see if I can see what it says.
You kind of like grab it, and it's kind of, it's gross. It's very gross. But you kind of like, as respectfully as you can, kind of smooth it out. Mm-hmm. And it seems in like some kind of like charcoal or something has been written in multiple different languages you could assume. Unfit, useless, unworthy, multiple times all over it.
Okay. I think I just try to very quickly just shove everything back into the bag.
Mm-hmm. And you realize that the bag is like probably handmade. There's no, it's like, it seems like somebody had taken like a piece of tanned hide or leather, and they have sewed it by hand and turned it into a bag. And when you look at the bag, you realize that the bag has on it the Tombstone symbol, painted into it with red paint, with the Ankh on a tombstone on it.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna shove everything back in the bag quickly. And I'm gonna leave it there and just try to kind of run over to where Aaron is.
Excellent. You kind of, do you have the bag with you?
No, I leave the bag.
Oh, you leave the bag? Okay, let's go. You're running over towards Aaron. All right, we'll get to that soon. Madelyn, let's get back to you here.
All right, so pretty much watched Aaron futzing with the
evidence tarp.
Evidence. And I'm going to walk to a just dark spot to drop. I'm dropping Silence of Death and Unseen Passage, and okay. I'm throwing up Mask of 1,000 Faces.
Got it. Okay.
I succeed my rouse check, and I'm just going to come in as a general, just first responder type, to walk over to them and just, excuse me, are you in charge here? To Aaron.
No, she's in charge over there.
Okay, well, we got everybody cleared out. You idiot, it's me.
Jesus fucking Christ. Well, all right, great. Thank you. Can I help you?
The guy was fucking blood-eagled.
Sweet.
You know what that is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Seen it done a few times.
Of course, you're into it. There were runes, like this, like that fucking thing you found, but different ones. Okay. Well, 2 of them were different. The last 2 were the same, and they weren't kidding about that skinning.
Storyteller, are there any unattended cameras sitting around?
Go ahead and make me an wits and awareness check here.
I still have heightened senses on, by the way, and I have a question about that when we finish this.
Got it. Also, 4? Yeah, you see one. There's in the back of the CSI van. Also, since you've had heightened senses up, you've got like a fucking microphone, like a field mic on right now. So
Yeah.
you've been hearing all of these conversations.
My question was going to be how much of Books' conversation with Raoul did I hear?
Oh, all of it, because you're right over by the
Excellent.
same area. Yeah.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah.
I will pass some of that information on to Madelyn while I casually walk over, pick up the camera out of the CSI van and hand it to her and say, please go take photos of that.
As soon as you do that, Books walks up.
I was gonna take the
Runs
camera.
up. Let me say runs up.
Yeah. I'm gonna pocket it into my bag and just. Something wrong? Fine.
Yeah, there's some shit over here that I feel like everyone should see.
What kind of shit?
I got some shit y'all need to see too. What's your kind of shit?
Well, I know like the situation where I know that the guy's been skinned and stuff like that's like everyone knows that, right?
Yeah, that was caught on the news feed before they cut it.
And who's around? Is it just us right here?
It's just Madelyn and Aaron right now. And there's some CSI that kind of like walk by sometimes, but they get kind of quiet when like.
Though, as far as Books knows,
It's not Madelyn. Yeah, it's just somebody with a camera. Yeah, just chilling.
Yeah.
But the voice is
That was Madelyn's voice, but that does not look like Madelyn at all.
Okay.
It looks like a nondescript woman with just like mousy hair.
I'm just like, look at Madelyn. As many photos as you can get of him before they take him down would be helpful.
Okay, but what do you expect me to do with this camera? Just take the
Take
card
the-
out of it?
Yeah, when you're done taking the photos, yeah.
And then they wonder why there's not a card in this camera. I have a
I'll ta-
phone. How old are you?
I don't use camera phones often. Sorry. Yes. Point.
Oh,
Fine.
God. Put this back.
Okay. Whatever. I literally just tossed the camera back in the van.
And I'm just gonna book it up there. Just say thank you, examining. Thank you. And just get back up there.
Okay. Take me to what you want to show me.
As you're
We'll
going,
make this pretty easier, I think.
as you're gonna go walk over there, Altair, what are you doing? What do you plan to do?
Okay, so first thing I want to do is can I activate Sense the Unseen and just like look around the crime scene?
Yes, you can. Go ahead, give me
Cool.
that. That's a free. That does not cost you anything. So go ahead and give me a Wits Auspec or Resolve Auspecs.
Yeah. Three successes.
3 successes with Sense the Unseen. So, everything looks pretty on the up and up with everything like that. Though,
Oh wait, so with Sense the Unseen, now Altair can see my ass running around.
yeah, so now you see like somebody, like you're kind of looking like, imagine it as a movie. It's like you see somebody that looks like a CSI, like just a crime scene investigator that's like ran up to Aaron and is now like running back towards like the body, and then it's almost like a woo, and you see it just like, oh, it's Madelyn. Like Madelyn
Oh,
was
silly Madelyn.
that person, that random woman that was talking is now Madelyn. Let me go ahead and just double check here real quick, so I make sure I don't like miss anything for you. Yes. Okay. Great. So, by the bodies, where they're shaped and everything like that. Almost like red highlighted lines carved into the earth that most people wouldn't notice because people have been stepping on them and everything like that, but you still see the traces of them. You see circles where blood rituals have happened. leftover senses where somebody has done some sort of blood sorcery or something, and it's a leftover circle. There's no wards or anything like that. Go ahead and give me a intelligence occult check, please.
Alrighty. That is 3 again.
3 again. So I don't know how much Altair has dabbled in blood sorcery or anything like that, but you've probably read up on it a little bit, or you've had Aster talk to you about it a little bit. It's something that's typically Tremere shit. But also, you know, if somebody's feeling saucy, they can pick up a little blood ritual here, you know, little thaumaturgy there, you know, little alchemy there, you know, just because, you know, they talk to somebody or they learn it or they study it or they like gather upon it or like, you know, it's supposed to be like super secret, like guarded knowledge, but... And this is like kind of like how Aster's kind of talking to you, but you know, like some of it slips through. And as you kind of like get closer to it, you look at the ground. This seems to have been a leftover like runic kind of like more intricate. You see like the runes that you've seen on all the shit that you guys have seen lately, but it's in a more concentric circle. It's gathered, it's all together, and it's forming like words and stories of like a ritual of some sort that was put in place here that was essentially a warning, a communication of some sort as well.
A warning and a communication, is that what you said?
Yes. And some truth as well is what you can gather with your 3 successes.
Huh. Okay, well that's pretty alarming still.
Mm-hmm. To put it in like D&D terms,
cool.
It seems like somebody has put up like a zone of truth up in this area. And then they've also put a warning for anybody that would come up and they would see not to fuck with this area because this area is claimed territory. And then it's also been used to do some other fucked up shit that if you had higher successes, you would probably glean.
Cool. Okay. Then, still at the crime scene, I would like to take a look at some of the bodies removed. Did you say the bodies removed?
Bodies not removed. They're still there. They're just smoldering now. So you can smell the...
Yeah, and Altair hates it.
It's burnt barbecue. It's been sitting in the smoker for way too long. Somebody forgot about it. They went and passed out, or they were taking a shower or something, and it's been in the oven for too long.
Okay, so I would like to look a little closer at those bodies.
Okie dokie. Are you looking at this from just an insightful standpoint, or are you looking at it from a medical standpoint?
Medical standpoint first.
Okay. Go ahead and give me intelligence medicine.
Cool. Wow. That is 6 successes.
6 successes. Damn good at what you do. So at first glance, you would see, oh my god, somebody murdered like 10 to 12 people, put them in different forms on the ground and to make like shapes, and then lit them on fire. Closer glance, you realize that is not the case. Somebody has taken 4 human bodies, and by some way, shape, or form, I don't know about Altair's knowledge, has taken those bodies and much like a I'm sure that you're familiar with Gumby, has taken those bodies and has stretched them and has taken the limbs and pulled them and has taken parts of those limbs and pulled them out and made other limbs and has formed them into these runes on the ground. And you notice that they do make the runes of what was written on Old Boy's thighs that Madelyn saw, but you can see them now. You do recognize Sun and Ash. You don't recognize the other two because I don't think you have linguistics as a linguistics like
No.
lesser or elder Futark runes, but they've been formed in this way. Extra
Great.
heads that aren't their own, that are others that have been put on there.
Perfect. Great. So yeah, so that was kind of my second question was like looking at the bodies in general, like did they, because someone had said that they were like purposely put like that, and it sounds like you said that they were in the shape of the runes.
Yep.
Okay, great.
All great stuff.
Yeah, super normal.
Can you go
I
ahead
think-
and roll me? Just go ahead and give me a willpower check real quick here.
Sure.
As you kind of feel like you want to run. This is a lot. This is a lot that's happening
This
right
is
now.
a lot. Yeah, no, I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. You stay yourself. You're fine. You're freaking out on the inside. There's a lot.
That's-
You don't want to be here right now. You want to be anywhere else. And you notice Madelyn has run off. She's doing something over nearby. And you see Aaron and Books are walking off. What are you doing next? Or do you want to stay with these bodies and investigate them a little bit
No,
more?
I don't want to stay with these bodies.
You don't want to stay with these bodies? Okay.
Do not want to
that's
stay
fine.
with these
Okay,
bodies.
that's fine.
Just
Just want to double check.
No, that's fair.
Okay.
So you said that Madelyn was running off
Mm-hmm.
and Aaron was going where?
Was going to the tree line on the other side of where all the ambulances and where the ambulance and the police cars are parked with Books. And Madelyn has stopped at the body that's hanging up and is seemingly pulling out her phone right now.
Okay. In that case, since the that body is still kind of like close to all these other bodies, so like Madelyn's kind of like
Mhm.
close-ish to where Altair is.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Um,
can just walk on over. Hey, girlfriend.
Yeah.
How's it going?
yeah, is it just her like by herself?
Yeah, there's nobody else around. There's some other people. Velasco has like been getting people to pay attention to like there's like boot prints and there's tire tracks on the ground and stuff. She's getting people to take pictures and stuff like that. She's kind of coordinating everything. But you can kind of tell just from here, I'm not going to make you roll insight just because you're a very insightful person. Like, it seems like she's trying to keep people away from you. She's trying to get them to do things that are police business things that are out of your way so that people
Right.
aren't like, why are you touching this? Why are you doing this? Why are you not writing anything down? Why are you not taking pictures? Like you
Right.
know, asking. So in a way, she's doing you a favor because she's keeping people from asking you random questions that you don't want to answer.
Great. So Altair will walk up to Madelyn and kind of like stand right next to her so that he can talk to her in a very like low, quiet voice.
Hey
And-
there, buddy.
Altair does not look okay.
There's he does not well, that's just kind of normal,
Does not
but
look
he
lit.
looks extra not okay.
Extra freaking out, like on the verge of a panic attack.
Hey, kid.
Yeah, there
okay?
were. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Really, there were there a blood ritual was done here. Something about truth and warning and some other communication thing. Also, there was the person who called in the scene just called the police station, and they just kind of they called and hung up like immediately. They were like, "There's a fire," and then like hung up.
That's weird. But I don't put it past bystanders to be stupid in times of crisis. What is going on with you?
Nothing.
Roll me wits insight.
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good at that. Sort of.
Are you trying to mask your emotions right now, Altair?
Yes.
That's gonna be 3 successes.
Okay, 3 successes. So you're gonna go ahead and roll me a composure and subterfuge check, and you've got a difficulty of 3, and you also have a
Great.
-2 dice difficulty.
Yep. Dang. I got 1.
Altair is freaking out right now. Altair is on the verge of having a panic attack, and it's not normal. Altair is having you might be familiar with Malkavians, and they experience things differently, and it's not just like a premonition kind of thing or seeing the other side or anything like that. But they feel differently. They interact differently. Altair is in a state right now where there's a lot of pressure on Altair. Even if there's no pressure on Altair, there's a lot of pressure on Altair. And you're seeing it right now. There is a pot that is about to boil over.
Okay. I'm going to quickly get Altair by his jacket sleeve and pull him back around the back of the sign and like turn his back so he can't look at the blood eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Just hey. I'm not really good at this French shit. Clearly something's wrong. How do I stop that?
I mean, I don't think that you can really. You know.
Do you need to go? We can get in the car and we can go. We got a lot of information. It's okay if you need to go.
You know, maybe I should go. You guys can stay, but I can go back to my car.
Let me take you. Okay? I'm really trying here. Let me take you.
Okay. I guess that's fine. I you know, if I can really do it on my own, it's okay. I can go.
I know you can.
Altair, do you want Madelyn to take you away to go with you, or do you want to go alone?
I mean, he's trying not to be a burden, but he does like want her to go. It's kind of like I want you to go, but like you don't have to.
So Madelyn, I'm going to have you roll a composure and persuasion check here. Altair, what's your hunger at?
2.
2? You have to get at least 2 successes here. We're going to handle this mechanically. So it's just... What'd you get?
4 critical.
4 critical.
Woohoo!
Like, yeah, that...
Altair, and I'm not going to make you do anything that you think Altair wouldn't do. But at this point, it's not common. You're not used to this. You're not used to their being an anchor point, a buoy, a lighthouse when you're in these states. Usually when you're with Aster, Aster's the cause of it, or is inflaming it. Just makes it worse. Or just anybody else, when you're dealing with anybody else, like when you get in these states. But at this moment in time, for the first time in maybe a long time for you, there is a rock, an anchor point, there is a port in a storm. So that's up to you.
So I think they're. Sorry,
I don't
go
have to
ahead.
go back with you. Just let me at least get you out of here, okay?
And there's just kind of just like a long pause, and you see Altair kind of like look past your face to like the view. And then he looks back and he says, "Yeah, okay, let's just back to the car, I think."
Okay. I'll tell the boys what we're doing.
Okay, yeah, tell them what I told you.
I'll tell them we got plenty of evidence and meet us at the car.
Okay.
Excellent.
Let's go.
Fellas, you're going back to the tree line.
And I do text them that.
Okay, you text them. Okay,
Okay.
excellent. You're going back to the tree line. Books,
Yeah.
you're going to show Aaron what Watson found.
So while we're walking, I just say, all right, what did you find?
We've got a guy that's missing some skin.
Yeah.
And I think we found that skin.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, we should collect that, not them. That's fantastic. And as we're walking, I will at some point go, hold on. And Aaron just pauses and he looks like he's listening to something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Altair's freaking out. That's great. That's what we need right now. Fantastic. And then I'll just keep walking.
Like more than normal?
Yes, more than normal. Madelyn's handling it.
You take it to the tree line, and Watson's there, and he's been pawing at the bag, and then when Books walks up, you see him kind of like stand straight up, like, I wasn't doing anything.
Laugh.
And then
Can
just
I
Actually laugh at that. Aaron's just like, that's amazing. I love cats. They're precious. And I just kneel down and I start looking at the bag.
Go ahead.
I just
and-
get like a general sense of what Watson like state is. Like, is he just chilling basically?
Watson is intrigued. He doesn't get out of the apartment often. So this is big news. This is, Oliver and Company level, Babe in the big city, This is some good stuff here. He is hungry. He did see a bat, but he's got a job to do. So he's locked down, but also he's like, you just want to give me some off time, boss. I'm just going to go fuck around a bit, Kind of like me when I was young and not on ADD meds yet.
I basically just give Watson the. I'm basically just like, yeah, you did a good job. You can do whatever you want for the time being, but we might be getting out of here soon. I'm not sure.
Hell yeah. And he gives a soft meow and he wanders off in the bush, but he's going to keep an eye on you.
Yep.
Yeah, Watson Hunky. Yeah.
So I show the bag. I just kind of like motion for Aaron to inspect it himself.
Yeah, I just kneel down. I still have the gloves on. I just open it and look. I'm just like,
So you see everything. Did
Okay.
you take linguistics as any advantages or anything like that?
Yes.
You did? Which ones? If you don't mind me asking.
One sec. Private message to the storyteller.
Oh, okay, got it. All right. So, when you're looking through in this bag, you see everything. You see the clothes. You see the other boot. There's another boot, so these probably do belong to.
It's the matching boot.
It's the matching boot.
Okay.
It's like that boot, but like his mate, but not like an evil twin thing or anything like that. It's the other boot.
Okay.
And you see the clothes, and then you see the skin.
The other clothes, yeah.
The other clothes.
The birthday suit. Okay.
And then you see on it all these markings. And a lot of them are in English. There's some in Spanish of like inutil, useless, unworthy, unfit, things like that. And there's some other languages that you don't recognize that could seem maybe German or something like that. But then there's some other stuff that you recognize, like older.
Okay.
Road signals or things that have been adopted that are from other countries that have been turned into road signals and things like that. That say the same thing, that say, but in those languages say unfit, not fit for a crown, not a king, not, things like that. And if you recall, Ian is Ventrue.
Yep. All right. If I fold the bag over and roll it up, can I put it in my jacket and it won't be obvious, or is it too big?
Give me... Oh, buddy. Give me a dexterity etiquette check.
Etiquette?
Yeah.
Okay. Etiquette. It's an interesting one. 2, 3, 4. 2 successes.
2 successes. You manage to, and you want to get like the bag and everything.
Yes.
The whole
Literally
kit and
everything.
caboodle.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. So you got
Kind of like rolling the bag up around the stuff so it won't leak
Lily,
out.
You got Lily on this side. You got your gun on this side. So you kind of roll it up, kind of like a road bag. You would like
Yep.
tighten it up, roll it up, and everything like that. And kind of like you kind of take the excess like twine or whatever stitching they had on it and use it to tie it up. And you realize, oh, this is going to be kind of bulky.
Can I put it
Books.
against my back underneath my jacket?
Potentially, Books is also wearing kind of a bulky jacket, a little bit, like something like that. So maybe you could hide it on Books, but you could also put it in your back, in your jacket.
If I keep it on myself, I can use my sleight of hand to keep it out of sight.
True.
So I'm going to do that. I'm going to
Perfect.
I'm going to slip it
Okay.
behind me, tuck it kind of into the waistband of my pants and belt so that it doesn't slide down, and hope that my jacket covers it.
I will make a note because, unlike Fallout, you have limited carrying capacity. So, I can't look at the chat right now. That is a lot, homie. So you've got that, everything like that. You both get a message, group chat. Hey, you both get a message from Madelyn saying, hey, me and Altair are gonna go to the car. Altair has gathered a lot of evidence. I think we're good to go. Madelyn, you also did manage to get pictures of everything like that as well.
Did she include that in the text?
Yes. No.
And I reply with, did you get the photos?
I reply with car.
Are you going to reply with anything else? Please make her send another car.
I reply with, okay, princess.
God.
We should go.
Do you think someone wanted this to be found?
That is a good question.
Seems so weird to just dump it so close.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is a very good question. I'm not sure.
You two are making your way back to the car?
Yeah. I'm gonna loop around the police line.
Okay, so that you don't get noticed or anything like that. I do have to make a roll real quick.
Sure.
Okay. You go ahead and loop around towards the police line a little bit. Watson, almost seemingly knowing that it's time to roll out, drops a bat that was in his mouth and follows along at your heels there, booked. As in, you kind of loop around away from the eyes of like the ambulance and everything like that. Make your way back towards the car. When you get to the car, Madelyn, Altair, how are y'all? Are y'all like outside the car? Altair, are you like sitting in your car? Are y'all both sitting in the car? Like, what's the situation?
I have the back door open to let Altair sit on the seat, but I'm just leaned against the door.
Got it. And this is how you find them. Aaron and Books.
When we get there, can I make
The second I see Aaron.
Can I make a wits and insight roll on Altair?
Please do.
Thank you.
I don't know why you'd want to do that.
Multiple reasons. Who?
Do you feel safe right now, Altair, or do you have your guard up?
I think there's definitely some like tension in his body. He is, even though they're not at the crime scene anymore and there are less people out here, he's still like has half a mind to just like jump in his car and drive away.
Okay. Before we get to that, what'd you get?
6 success with a messy crit.
See?
So
Join the messy crit club.
You know the hell out of his mood.
where you're at right now, you were in the groove. You were in it. You were fucking like finding evidence. Like there was some synchronicity between you and Books and Altair and Madelyn up there finding stuff and everything. And you realize that like Altair has put a stop to that. You are like, you feel like you're in charge right now, and you feel like you had something going, and it's not happening anymore. And Altair has put a stop to that. And Altair is an easy target right now. I'm not going to tell you to act on anything right now, but it seems like if you put 2 and 2 together, if anything fucks up with this or about this, it's on Altair.
And for my actual purpose,
And it's really fucking cute right now that Madelyn and Altair are just sitting here hanging out like a couple of buddies. So every interaction that you're going to have with these people is going to piss you off, probably. It's going to... You're not in it. Because, like, you are a lone wolf. You fucking do things your own way. And you're very ambitious with this shit. And they're not living up to that right now. And it's starting to spread a little bit. You're like, maybe Altair, but also Books. I've got this ball and chain following me around here. Madelyn's just like taking pot shots at me right now. For as of right now, you are thin fucking ice.
I look at the Prius, whatever it is. I look at them. I look at the cat that just jumped on my lap. Key fob to Altair and hold out my hand.
Sorry, you said keep up?
Key fob.
Oh,
And I-
fob.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Just very curtly. Key fob.
For my car?
Yeah.
Why?
So I can drive it.
Why are
Two?
you driving his car?
Don't worry about it. Please. Thank you.
Why shouldn't I drive my own car?
No, not currently. And I need to do something.
Explain yourself.
No, please. Thank you.
Yes.
Why can't I just go with you?
Because I have a bunch of a man's skin in a bag, and I'm going to go take it to someone who can identify parts of it.
Altair just gets this like look of horror on his face when you say that.
And why do you need his car to do that?
Because we need to split up.
Altair can drive his own car. You can just ride in mine. What is going on?
I need to split up from all of you and go take care of this.
Why?
Because you have other things to do. Why is this complicated?
Because you're acting weird.
What time is it?
It's getting kind of late. It's around 2-ish.
We have limited moonlight left. I would like to go drop this off where I plan on taking it. And then deal with other things. I'm assuming you all have things to do as well, and it's easier. And since this one is having some emotional problems right now, probably it's better if he stays with you. That makes sense?
I'm not his fucking mother, you prick.
But you were acting like it, so that all works out.
And you're acting like a prick? Fantastic. Go on, take the fucking car.
Can Altair get a read on maybe try to get some insight on why Aaron is so...
Get a wit's insight on this guy right now.
Do you think empathy would apply?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely for you.
Cool. Oh, might help if I roll in the thing. That is critical 6.
Aaron right now is fed up with people's shit. But it doesn't seem like Aaron is aware of what Aaron is doing. Like, on a subconscious level. Aaron is doing what is known in the psychology field as imprinting. He's what's the term? Somebody help me out here. He's
Projecting?
Projecting. Yes, exactly. He's projecting everything that's going on with him onto others, onto you, onto Madelyn, onto books. There's also some sexual tension here happening, and you don't know what's going on with that, and it's really kind of clouding up everything. But, like, he's being an asshole right now.
Oh, I didn't notice.
But it doesn't seem like he wants that to be intent, but he feels out of control. And he's not used to being in a group. And it's getting to him.
Okay. Then I think Altair is going to stand up from, sitting in the back seat. He's going to look at Aaron. And just look him in the face and say, "Will you be okay by yourself?"
Usually am, yes. Thank you for your concern.
And then I think he's gonna do a quick look at Maddie, look at books, see if they have any particular thing that they want to say as he's reaching into his pocket.
Yeah, Books, how do you feel about this? Anything you want to say?
I honestly think that Books is everything has been so fucked up, and these people are kind of assholes anyway from what I've seen. So I'm not even sure Books understands that something weird is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Valid.
Great.
Madelyn has taken out her phone and she's fucking with the phone, just angrily tapping it.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron's phone will buzz with all of the pictures. Just Yeah,
Great.
enjoy being alone. And she's gonna get in the driver's seat of the car.
And so Altair will turn to Aaron. He's got the keys in his hands, and he says, "Just take some time to calm down, okay? You'll be okay." And he'll like hold out the keys to him.
Plucks the key fob from your hand and unlocks the door to the Prius and gets in and pulls away, probably faster than you thought the Prius could accelerate.
Almost hits another car in there. And
Altair's a very safe driver.
Yeah. It's like, God damn it. And I'm guessing you two get in the car with Madelyn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I do
Watson.
at least.
And
And
Watson.
And Watson. Yeah.
And Watson.
We can't leave him.
And you were all going to pull away. And usually...
Madelyn is white knuckle gripping the steering wheel.
Camera pulls away a little bit, but doesn't zoom out like we're normally used to at the end of these sessions where it zooms out and goes somewhere else in the city. It just pulls away a little bit to a branch overlooking the parking lot. And you see a hawk sitting there, blinking. Then it flaps its wings. And it soars over the trees and it goes down back into the city. And it flies through the streets, and it has a focus, even though it wants to fuck with some of the bats that are around here, or maybe go into a bird's nest or something. It's very focused. It has a directive. And it flies, and it lands on the arm of a gentleman wearing a hood, a jacket, but it's down. And he's got scruffy black hair and a goatee, dark complexion a little bit. And he pulls out something like a slab of meat from a leather pouch on his belt. And he goes, "Good, good, good." And he like feeds it a little bit and he like gives it the meat and it like rubs the top of its head and everything. And it squawks in approval. And he looks over and he looks at it real quick. And he looks over towards, on top of this roof, to a shapely shadow, big. And he goes, "It's been found. They found almost everything." And you see, stepping out from the shadow, 7-foot-tall gentleman wearing a tailored suit with a big knotted tie and a Burberry jacket, a long jacket that's like duster length, but it's not leather. And he's got on his back a double-bearded axe, and he has blonde hair. It's very nice, and it's not shaved on the sides, but it's tied up in a bun, and he's got a very close-cropped beard. And he's got tattoos underneath his eyelids of octopus tentacles coming down on his cheeks. And he goes, "Good. All the pieces are making their way in place. We just have to wait for them to make their return." And then that's where we'll end our session for this evening. I would like to thank all of you for sticking around. And we went a little bit over. We went about 12 minutes over, but it was good. I wanted to keep everything going. A lot of good stuff happened. Hope everybody's feeling all right. There's a lot of emotions and stuff here. I want to say thank you to everybody for hanging out. We're back for more. We have 3 more episodes, I think, of this season, depending on how things go. So keep on staying tuned for that. This Wednesday, I'll be playing Deus Ex Human Revolution. So come and check that out at like the normal Wednesday time. It's on the schedule. You'll see it at the end of the stream. And then Friday, we have more Kingdom Hearts Interstitial War. Come and see that. And then Saturday, I think I'm playing games again because we don't have Rage Across Birmingham. Or I might just take a night off. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just kind of playing loosey-goosey. I'm playing loosey-goosey with January. We're trying to vibe it out and see. And then Sunday, we have the next episode of this, episode 6 of this. I would like to thank all of my castmates. I'm so glad that we're back and playing again. You guys have killed it tonight. Can we go around and around, starting with books here, of anything you got to promote or anything you want to throw out or anything like that?
Nothing too specific. You can just follow me on Twitter at @the1janitor, or you can follow my YouTube channel, T1J. That's pretty much it.
Hell yeah, go give that a follow. Excellent. There's a Patreon and all that good stuff. He's also got t-shirts and everything. Go check him out. T1J, one of the homies, Kevin. Love to have you back. I'm doing this whole words of affirmation and things like that this year. It's really great. Gratitude. Altair or Aid.
Yes, so you can find me on Twitter, Aid3E. You can find me here on Fridays in the Kingdom Hearts Interstitial War game where I play Sarah Farron from Final Fantasy 13 too. And you can find me on Mondays on the Gehenna Gaming stream where I play in the Monday Night Monster Hearts 2 game, Gehenna Valley. Come check me out. All my characters are beans. Whoops.
All of them.
Oops, all beans.
I'd like to say thank you again for Ashley for letting me beat up on her a little bit tonight.
Oh no, I mean lets me harness the power of my stuttering to be in character instead.
Oh, you did great. Okay, and Madelyn or Ellie.
Hey, I am Ellie. You can find me over at ATL by Night. We are starting back on the 12th for our 4th season. It's going to be super intense and really fun. This Thursday, yes, the 7th, I will be running a Jasper's Game Day game. And that you can find on my Twitter, Ellie_A_Collins. I am running a very special, very weird game for people who have wanted to see the strangeness that I bring to Malkavians. I'm running a very special one-shot for Jasper's Game Day, and we're raising money for mental health charities. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And then you can catch me on Gehenna Gaming on January 16th, where I am running a Viking V5 one-shot called The Gods Can't Save You. And I am super excited about that because I have a lot of very cruel surprises in store for the players.
I do want to preface that even though I knew about that game happening, I had written these plot points before I knew that game was happening. So it's just kind of like serendipity that like it just kind of like linked up that like there was Viking stuff involved.
All the Viking love.
Yeah, all that good stuff. So yeah, so it just worked out. Yeah, and thank you, Ellie, for giving me your time and your insight and everything like that. Always, I'm so lucky to have you here on this cast. And then, last but certainly not least, Aaron or Ian, but not that Ian.
not the one currently missing significant portion of his skin. Or am I? You can find me over on yeah, great, awesome. That had the effect I intended. Yeah. You can find me over on Gehenna Gaming, where we do a lot of really fun stuff, a lot of horror gaming. We have some really cool stuff coming up in the near future. Next Saturday, we're gonna have a Mummy the Cursed game run by my good friend Rick.
He's gonna get to run it.
And that is going to be kicking off. I can say this because we're going to start advertising it tomorrow. So sneak preview, Contagion Chronicles. We're going to be running a different splat from Chronicles of Darkness every Saturday, except for the 16th, for the next month and a half, 2 months.
What?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Going to be very exciting. I'm going to be running one of them. So... And then, yep, I will be playing in the V5 Vikings game, reprising one of my favorite characters of all time, Bjarni, a Viking berserker turned Gangrel. Yeah. So,
excellent.
beyond that, a lot of cool stuff. I think we're taking a little bit of break from deep dives, but there's going to be some good interviews and fireside chats over on Gehenna Gaming that I'll be a part of. We did a really good interview for our podcast earlier today, which will be out, I believe, next week. A lot of cool stuff. And obviously, we have announced it, but we don't have the date yet. VHC 2021 is coming up very soon, sooner than you might think. So I think that's everything. You can find me over on GehennaGaming.com or on the Twitters as @Ravnos.
So yeah, and also like get in contact with Ravnos, like go through the Discord or like Twitter or anything like that. If you are interested in VHC, if you are like a content creator or you run games or you are like an actor, like if you're seeing this later, or if you're like a voice actor or if you're like a comedian or if you make stuff, if you have like an Etsy store or anything like that, you make dice, you make like you do art, you do any of that stuff like that, or like if you want to be involved somehow. I know that he's looking for things to fill for VHC. If you're not familiar with it, it was at the beginning of pandemic. It came through, and it really I can
And it
legitimately
stands
say
for Virtual Horror Con.
Virtual Horror
Thank you.
Con. Yeah, Virtual Horror Con. It pioneered really like the online internet conventions that you saw like happen after it. The guys at Gehenna Gaming, they really jumped on it like immediately and like with 2 weeks of work. Like they put months of work into 2 weeks, and like they had panels, they had actual play games, they had games that were running, like they had the whole virtual experience. They had a vendor hall, they had giveaways, they were raising money, and everything. So like definitely check them out. And if you're interested, like go ahead and send an email or something. All their content, all the ways to contact them are on their website or in the Discord server. And just holler at them because I can't wait. I'm excited. I took off work so I can be a part of it. So that's how excited I am about it.
A very important part and a very helpful part. Thank you.
We'll have more of that later. So, anything else? I do just want to thank one last group of people here. If you noticed, we threw some things in from a recent release from Vampire the Masquerade from World of Darkness and Paradox Interactive. I had some things involved here from the Vampire the Masquerade Companion, so I want to thank everybody that worked on that wrote on that did the editing and the diversity reading and the art direction and the graphic design and the interior art and all of the QA and the testing and everything like that. A lot of those people don't get a lot of like love often when you talk about things that have been written and worked together. And so it's important that like everybody from the graphic designers to the layout team and everything like that, like you killed it. I am so glad that I got to throw in some random stuff from that. I was excited. As soon as that was released, I like grabbed it and I read through it and I was like, I'm gonna change these notes. I'm off. I'm on a break so I can like manipulate some stuff. So yeah, so thank you to Justin and Allison and Erica and Kareem and everybody else on the team, Tomas, Mark, everybody like that. It's great. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. And I think that's it for me. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. I hope you get plenty of rest. I hope you drink plenty of water. And I hope you have a fantastic starting of your week. We're in the new year. We're kicking it off. And even though years are just numbers and stuff like that, it's an opportunity for you to start working on that thing that you've been putting off, or reaching out to that person that you haven't been reaching out to that you want to reach out to, or really taking care of yourself, or like making strides to do things like that. It's the perfect time because things kind of reset. It's human nature. Things get cyclical, and when we work in like patterns and everything like that. It's fine. The numbers, they mean something. But yeah, so that's it for me. So I hope you all have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on Wednesday. The rest of these lovely people will see you at different times during this week. Please go follow them. Please give them some love. Follow us here on Twitch. Subscribe on Twitch. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. All that good stuff. That's it for me and for the rest of the cast and everything like that. I hope you have a great rest of the week. And do not forget, comfort comes